Hi, friends. Doc South here. And, the other day, yesterday, my brother Ed and his wife Helen uh, invited me to go along with them to the movies. Sandy was busy with her antiques and was running here and there for that, um, trying to get her done, so to speak. She had antiques to drop off at various selling points. And so, yeah, it made sense. And I went. There was, I think it was the Tom Cruise movie, Mission Impossible. Okay, and we sat way up in, that's just one of these multiplex theaters that are fantastic. And we, we were way up in the back, looking down on a beautiful screen, nice air conditioning. It's a sweet theater. And I'm going to go more often because it is fun. And not a whole lot of money. You go on senior day and it's like $7, which I remember when you could go to a movie for a quarter, but them days are gone. Um, but it was nice. It was nice. Good refreshments. Popcorn smelled good. I didn't get any that day, yesterday, but I'm seriously considering an investment one day soon. And but I'm watching the movie. Tom Cruise is doing all his stuff there. Falling out of airplanes and getting run over by submarines, and yeah, all that stuff that any normal person would wind up being, yeah, nothing left. Um, but it's a movie. That's how it goes. And so I'm watching the thing and watching it, and all of a sudden I'm thinking, wait a minute, what the heck? I've seen this before. I'm thinking, I see one scene and I said, wait a minute. There was some scene, heaven knows, maybe they were running each other with tanks or something, or, someone's hopping out of a biplane, and, falling 20,000 feet. I don't know if a biplane can get up 20,000 feet, but you get the idea. Okay. And it was a good movie. No problem there. But I kept saying, I feel like I've seen this scene. How do I know this scene's happening? And then maybe prior to that there was another. All of a sudden I'm thinking, wait a minute, there was another scene back in the movie, and I would, fish, the, the the tennis courts, what, the submarine, the being in that damaged submarine. What? How? What? Why am I seeing? How can I be remembering this? And I couldn't get it out of my head. And then, I don't know, all of a sudden, when the movie was over, of course I thanked Ed and Helen, and it was great of them to do that, to take me. And all of a sudden on the way out, it hit me that I had indeed been there before, about about 3 weeks ago. Someone gave me the money to go see the movie, and now my brother Ed and his wife gave me money, invited me and took me to see the movie. I saw it once by myself and once with them. And I didn't, here's where the brain fog gets to you, because I didn't remember that I had been to the first one. It did not, even though the movie seemed familiar, I couldn't put, where did this come from? And it was only 2 or 3 weeks ago. Only 2 or 3 weeks ago. And it, and I believe, if I recall right, I went by myself. I didn't go with anyone else. Because I remember asking my brother, did you go to the movies with me a week or two ago and we saw this same movie? He says, no. He says, this is the first time we've seen it. His wife Helen and I, and him. So that's what the brain fog is like. That's what it does to you. Next thing you know, you get befuddled with stuff from the past, mixing it up with stuff from the present. Somehow or another, it gets botched up, and you'll find yourself doing things over and over again, possibly. Now, I don't think I'm going to go see the Tom Cruise movie again, but there were movies there at the Cineplex I would like to go see again. And I suppose if I forget I went and I go again with others, well, big deal. But I kind of put the kibosh on doing it 3 or 4 times. Doggone, come on. Maybe when it gets to TV. There you go. I'll watch it then. But ay ay ay. Oh, this brain fog stinks, and that's it. But I'll live. Oh my heavens. Anyway, thought I'd just run that by you. Catch you later. I've got to go eat supper because we got storms coming, some big ones, and we have an electric stove, for cooking. Or a microwave. I don't particularly want the power to go out before I have a chance to knock down some of Sandy's good cooking. Okay, I'll see you later. That much I know. Okay, I'll see you later. God bless.